Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you've ever wondered if those old pennies in your collection could be worth something significant, you're in for a surprise today. In this video, we're going to explore the 1967 Lincoln penny, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but could be hiding a real treasure. Some of these pennies have been known to sell for as much as $1.5 million. It may sound unbelievable, but it's true. Today, we're going to dive into the history of the 1967 Lincoln penny, what makes it so valuable, and how you can spot a rare version that could potentially make you a lot of money. So, let's jump right into it. The history of the 1967 Lincoln penny. To understand why the 1967 Lincoln penny is valuable, we first need to look at its history. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909. And over the years, it has undergone several design changes. The most recognizable design is the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, which was introduced in 1959. The 1967 penny, like most pennies minted during this period, was made from a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and ink, a far cry from today's pennies, which are primarily made of zinc with a thin copper coating. The 1967 Lincoln penny was part of the regular production run and was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. The D mint mark signifies the coins minted in Denver, while coins without a mint mark were made in Philadelphia. This year also saw billions of pennies produced as part of the usual U.S. mint operations, and while most of them are worth only 1 cent today, some of these coins are considered highly valuable, especially due to minting errors and other factors. What makes the 1967 Lincoln penny so valuable? So, what could possibly make a 1967 Lincoln penny worth up to $1.5 million? The answer lies in a combination of factors, including rare minting errors and the coin's condition. While most of these pennies are just regular circulating coins, some have minting mistakes that drastically increase their value. The most important factor when it comes to the 1967 Lincoln penny's value is the presence of a rare error known as the double die or double die variety. This error occurs when a coin's die, the metal stamp used to create the design on the coin, misaligns or strikes the coin more than once in slightly different positions. As a result, the image on the coin appears doubled, creating an interesting and often very noticeable effect, especially on the inscriptions. For the 1967 Lincoln penny, the double die error most commonly affects the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" on the obverse side of the coin. The doubling makes the letters appear blurry or shadowed, and in some cases, the effect can be so dramatic that it's impossible to miss. When this error occurs, it turns an otherwise normal penny into a highly sought-after rarity that can be worth a significant amount of money. In addition to the doubled die, coins that have been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition are also highly valuable. If a 1967 Lincoln penny has little to no wear, no scratches, and is in almost perfect condition, it can command a much higher price than a typical circulated penny. When collectors are looking for coins, they're always on the lookout for well-preserved examples of certain years and eras, which is why high-quality 1967 pennies are in high demand. The 1967 double-die Lincoln penny worth $1.5 million. Now, let's get into the big reason you're here, how a 1967 Lincoln penny can be worth $1.5 million. It's all about rarity and the presence of the double die error. These coins are incredibly rare, and when they do pop up on the market, they generate a lot of excitement within the numismatic community. Some of the 1967 Lincoln pennies with the double die error have sold for prices in the millions, with one example fetching $1.5 million at auction. What makes these coins so valuable is that they are rare examples of a minting mistake that collectors highly covet. Double die coins, especially from more recent years like 1967, are particularly prized because they are harder to come by compared to older coins. The unique characteristics of a double die make it stand out, and when it is paired with a well-preserved coin, it creates a combination that is both rare and desirable to collectors. The record-breaking sale of the 1967 double-die penny for $1.5 million is a perfect example of how rarer coins can skyrocket in value. A coin like this is more than just a piece of currency, it's a historical artifact that has a special place in the world of numismatics. How to identify a rare 1967 Lincoln penny. Now that we know how valuable a rare 1967 Lincoln penny can be, how do you go about finding one? Here are a few things to keep an eye out for if you want to search for these valuable coins. Look for the mint mark. First, check the mint mark. A 1967 penny with the D mint mark was minted in Denver, while those without a mint mark were made in Philadelphia. Both versions could potentially have the double die error, but the majority of valuable examples come from the Denver mint. Inspect the doubling. The key feature to look for is the double die error. On the obverse side of the coin, carefully examine the letters of the word liberty and the phrase "In God We Trust." If you see any signs of the letters being doubled, such as one set of letters slightly off-center from the other, you could be looking at a valuable coin. Examine the coin's condition. Just like with any rare coin, the condition of the 1967 penny is critical. Coins in mint or uncirculated condition are the ones that command the highest prices. If the coin has been in circulation for a long time, the chances are it will have some wear and tear. The better the condition, the higher the value. Get it graded. If you think you found a rare 1967 penny with the double die error, your best bet is to get it professionally graded by a certified coin grading service. The graders will assess the coin's condition and authenticity, which can make a huge difference in its market value. Certified coins are often worth more than ungraded ones, so it's worth the investment. Other valuable 1967 Lincoln pennies. While the double die error is the most sought-after variety of the 1967 Lincoln penny, don't forget that there are other factors that can make these coins valuable. For example, some 1967 pennies might feature slight die cracks, off-center strikes, or other unique imperfections that make them interesting to collectors. Even if a 1967 penny doesn't have the double die error, if it's in exceptional condition, it might still fetch more than its face value. Coins from this era that have been preserved well are always of interest to collectors, and they could be worth more than you might expect. Conclusion. In conclusion, the 1967 Lincoln penny may seem like just another coin, but it has the potential to be a hidden gem. A rare 1967 penny with a double die error can be worth up to $1.5 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies to collect. If you have any 1967 pennies lying around, take the time to inspect them closely for the double die error or other minting mistakes. If you think you found a rare one, getting it professionally graded could open the door to a substantial payday. Coin collecting is all about learning, discovering, and occasionally finding a piece of history that's worth a lot more than you think. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. You never know what treasures are hiding in your collection. Call to action. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment below with your thoughts or share your coin hunting experiences. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos on rare coins and their incredible value. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video. End of video.